Welcome back to the Eye Jupiter Live. I am your host, Tom Franklin, and we got him back on, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him back on. I'm so happy. Mr. Randy Bauer is here again. He was a recent episode 100 and something. I don't have it up right now. The episode is Sasquatch told me what he or what they are not. So if you want to go back and recheck that one, please do me a favor and do so. And today he's going to come back on. We're going to recap a couple things. He's going to tell us a couple different stories. And if you have any questions, please get those ready. If you find yourself coming back to the Eye Jupiter podcast and haven't subscribed yet, please do me a favor and do so. And if it's your first time here, welcome to the show and do the same. You can find me in all the links in the description below. And you can contact me at the Eye Jupiter podcast at gmail.com. I've actually had a few people contact me recently. I'll get it out eventually. And it's been quite refreshing. I really appreciate the feedback. Please go over on all your favorite podcasts there. On the MP3 side, leave me a review and go ahead and download this and share everything you possibly can to get this out there as much as possible. So with all that out of the way, like I always say, let's welcome back to the Eye, Mr. Randy Bauer. Hi, Randy.
Hello.
Hi, sir. Oh, it's going to be one of those days. Let's go ahead and say hello to everyone here first. First of all, how you doing? How's it going, Randy?
Oh, it's going good. Going
good. Nice and cold up there in Minnesota, huh?
Yeah, but it's I'll say it's warm right now. It's only about -5, so it's not bad. Fahrenheit.
Yeah, no big deal. Oh yeah, no big deal. It's only 40 degrees below zero there.
But it's been below though. Yep.
Below freezing. I'm used to being in the Celsius country, so it takes me a second. Let's go say hello to everybody here. We have Audacious Amber. Hi, welcome back to the show. Jenny Atkins is here, as always, one of my great moderators. Pam Stefanich is always here. Thank you, Pam. Elder Medicine Bear Claw. She is, maybe, Randy, you can connect with her, too. She is an incredible Native American woman, and she has a lot of experience with them as well. Really interesting. Yeah, really interesting information. And who else forgot her? Oh, that's all of it, man. So, hello. And then we also have Tim from Ohio Bigfoot Researchers. He's also here as well. So, Randy, you came on the show. You got me in contact with Mr. Hajick, Doug Hajick from Monster Quest. For those who don't know, that was an incredible interview. Hey, Robert. Here's one of the people who contacted me. Me and Robert. Robert will be on the show, and we're going to get into some stuff. He contacted me through my email, so thank you so much for that, Robert. And so I had Doug on, and he, corroborated what you said about when he came with some other gentleman with the smells. That was it wasn't surprising because, of course, I believe both of you, of course. It's always great to have that second voice to come in and back up with what's been said.
It is not just me saying something. There's other people that could say the same thing I said that have experienced what I'm saying that I know.
Right. Yeah. Let's see here. The Night Watch. Jim is here. Hello, Jim from the Night Watch. One more reminder, guys. If you want to go ahead and Super Chat's open. It is definitely not something you need to do, but if you'd like to support the show, just remember that they're open, and I appreciate it in advance. So here's Here's Tim's channel. Go check it out. Ohio Bigfoot Researchers over on YouTube. He can use all the support he can to. He does great work over there in Ohio. So, man, you said, what are we going to talk about today? Because we went through all the pictures. If you guys want to go back and see all the pictures, the skulls, all the bones and skulls that Randy's been left by the Sasquatch, what they've been telling him, the moving of the trailer, the footprints in the snow, all the incredible, the peanut butter jars, the lids, the dog, everything. You said you wanted to share a couple more things with me today. So let's get into it and tell me, what would you like to share with us?
Well, I guess I kind of want to recap the very beginning, 13 years ago. And I'll make it quick because I got so much I could say. And if anybody's got any questions to ask me, I'll answer anything that I know. A lot of times I say I don't know because if they didn't tell me that, I don't know it. Okay.
Fair enough.
13 years ago, I was no believer in Bigfoot. I wasn't a non-believer. I wasn't a believer. I was nothing, just like the Loch Ness Monster. Yeah, I hear about it, but I don't know if it's true or not. And I'm big on the deer hunting thing. I call it the old school way. When I was 12, and I'm 66 now, when I was 12, Dad would put me in a deer stand way back in the woods, leave me there dark till dark. I couldn't get out because I didn't know where I was at. I couldn't walk around. I still hunt that way. And after deer hunting's over, I'll set my stand dark till dark. I don't get out to eat or anything. I just set even be 10 below out. I tough it out. Is it hard to do? Yes, it's hard, but I see lots of deer that way. I mean, a lot. Most people don't do that. They go in and out, and I'm already out in the woods.
That's right. You told me the last time when you go hunting, you go out early in the morning before sunrise, and you stay there till after dark the whole day.
Yeah. When I
you take sandwiches with you? I mean, what are you doing? Are you taking sandwiches with you? What are you doing?
Yeah, I got a little backpack that's quiet, and if I'm going to unzip it, I go. I don't want to make a sound.
Yeah.
I got a couple sandwiches, bottles of water.
There you go.
Stuff that I can open up that doesn't rattle, and I just sit there like this. Sit there like this here and look around. Sometimes I end up falling asleep. But anyways. I'll set the tail dark till dark. And the last day on Sunday, usually our last day, our deer hunting starts in November, first weekend in November. It goes for 2 weeks. After deer hunting is done, the next day I will walk back. No, not on the land we live on, 40 acres here. I'll go back on the state land. Now I'm in Northern Minnesota. And because I want to see if I can see where the deer go during the hunting pressure. If I can see a spot, make a new deer stand. And I just make my stands out of the woods. No heat, platform, some railing, some camouflage burlap around it, put a chair in there. And so I'm doing that. I get past my stand not too far, and I come across there. What the heck? There was snow on the ground. There was 3 deer beds. I could see where 3 deer had laid.
Right, deer beds.
Deer beds, yep. And something killed 3 deer in their bed. There was some blood sprayed on the tree at the bottom of the trees. Something killed 3 deer in their bed, left nothing but hair. Not a rib cage, a skull, a neck, legs, nothing. A tail, just hair. The hair had been plucked out. And right away I think, oh my God, a pack of wolves back here, and I got no gun, and I'm really weird about it. So I take a picture of it. I had a new iPhone, whatever the new phone was at 13 years ago. And I decided to get out of there because it doesn't feel right. And I don't want to have no pack of wolves around me or whatever, And when a pack of wolves kill a deer, there's going to be bones in a big mess. Because I sent you a picture.
Right. I remember.
Yeah, It's awful looking. And this is not what it was. And it wasn't there the day before on Sunday because I'm not far away from my stand. I would have known that. But right away, I think a pack of wolves. I get home. I'm got to walk a couple miles because I'm a couple miles back in the woods. And it's all woods from our house there. There's no neighbors, really. It's all landlocked by older farmers. Nobody goes back in there. So I get home and said, Terry, to my wife, you got to look at this. Get ready to show the picture, and the picture's gone. But right away, I think, oh, I didn't know how to save the picture. It's a new phone. Hello, Linda. Anyways, okay, so I play in a band. That's what I've done my whole life. And I have a sound company. So around December, we're going on the road in our band. And we play like on Nevada, Wyoming, the western states.
Mm-hmm.
And 13 years ago, that year, there was snow so deep it was past your knees in the woods. I don't even mean drifted. So it was really deep. And I knew when we got home, it was going to be 40 below that night. And so there's old trails back there, but you can't get a car back there. It's when they logged back in the 50s from a skidder or whatever. And they're even starting to grow in like this year. But you can get a snowmobile down them or walk them or four-wheeler. And so I knew I could ride the snowmobile around, and the next day I could walk my frozen snowmobile track. And still, there ain't no Sasquatch in my mind. I'm not even thinking about it. So I'm doing that, and I start coming around back, getting closer to home, and I come across these tracks, and I'm looking at them. What the heck? They were 17 inches long, like that there. They were in line. When it was all said and done, I got a tape measure, 17 inches long and a 6.5 to 7 foot between each step in line. They even stepped across the river.
Okay.
And I kind of laugh. Is this Bigfoot, I say? And I'm looking at them. I take pictures of them. And they're on my old computer. I still have the pictures, but I kind of ruined them, not knowing what I was looking at. I got my tracks all around them and stuff.
Okay.
I do got sticks in each of the tracks.
Okay, Randy, I'm gonna bump you off for a quick second and bump you back on. You are froze for them as well. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna put you right back on. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Oh, now I don't see you now.
Okay.
But I can hear you. That's really odd. Okay.
That happened last time too.
Yes, it did.
Other podcasts I'm on, and you're moving. I'm moving. That's good here.
Mm-hmm.
We got fiber optic Wi-Fi here, so it's good.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things. If you come back, it's fine. If you happen to get bumped out, you can just come back on. But right now they can hear you, they just can't see you, which is a little weird.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, okay. Just go ahead and continue, please.
Yeah. So I get home there and I'm looking up Bigfoot Sasquatch of I guess Michigan first, and I called that place. He said, you got to call the SRA in Minnesota. That's their area. So I did, and they had this thing I could fill out. And then, you got any pictures, send them. So I filled this form out there, give them my phone number and email and all that. I sent the pictures of those tracks. It wasn't even within an hour, he called me back, the head guy, Jim. Said, Randy, you got a Squatch. And that's how this all started for me. He told me what to look for. You got X's structures. I got so many X's and structures, and they're not wind blowing. All the years I've been hunting in the woods, I've never seen sticks fly through the air and land in an X, a TP, an A, ever. And they don't have no root base there. And yes, of course, trees get blown over, dead sticks fall down and all that, but not what I have. It's way different.
Okay.
So that's how this all started for me. Now, I guess I got to really, everything is frozen now. Oh, you are? No,
you're good. You're good, man. You're actually back now.
Yeah. Okay.
Someone said everything is frozen. She's talking about the weather, which is a pretty funny thing to say.
Oh my God.
Linda, if you ever get a chance, Linda, I got to have you back on, Linda. That was a long time ago. I talked to you about 2 years ago. Linda, please do me a favor. Reach out to me. I would love to have you back.
Okay. So that's how this all started. And they've been through the yard walking the Sierra Sounds. That happened one time about 4 a.m. Me and Terry get woke up. It's in the summertime. Of course, our yard lights aren't working, and we got a big yard. You can't even see our house from the highway, so we're back in the woods.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep. We got one neighbor across the road there, and the other neighbor is my daughter and her husband. They bought my mom and dad's place where I grew up at. So, anyways, what is that there? I'm listening to it. It's like two of them, and they're talking. I can kind of like some samurai chatter thing.
Right.
Yep. And I never knew nothing about Ron Moorhead. This is like 11, 12 years ago, too, at the beginning. I never knew about no Ron Moorhead or the Sierra Sounds or anything. So I called Jim. He says, Randy, go to the Sierra Sounds. Is that what you heard? So I go look it up. It was exactly to a T what I heard. Okay. Sasquatch people have been seen 42 times in my place by 28 different people that I've let come here. I have seen them 13 times, never at nighttime, always in the daytime, close up, sometimes 25 yards away, sometimes 100 yards away. We look at each other. I'm not scared of them. I'll tell you another quick one here. I do want to get into some new stuff, but I also want to tell you what they have told me.
Yes. I think it's good that it's live when it's being said. If you have any questions, guys, we did have one I don't think it fit. We did have one from Patriot. Welcome to the show. So what you're saying is 100% whistle in the woods and following the things calling your name. I don't think he said that, but
well, yeah, yes, I did. Yeah,
okay.
I did say that. I did talk about whistling at me last time, but a whole different story, and calling my name. Okay, so I'll stop and go to that there.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Randy. Thank you so much, Randy.
Jim, the head guy in SRA at the time, he said, Randy, I used to carry a rifle all the time because I didn't know what they were. Watching all those TV shows and all that stuff there and getting all this wrong information, which it is. Those TV shows are for entertainment, period. So he said, Randy, you got to stop carrying a rifle. They know what a rifle is, and you have to talk to them. I said, talk in the woods by myself? I'm going to feel dumb. He says, yes, you do. He said, that'd be like me walking in your house. You're going to wonder who's coming in my house. So I quit carrying a rifle that day. And he said, wear a GoPro camera backwards. They'll look at you when you go past them.
Oh,
I said,
wow.
I don't have one. He said,
that's like a Scott Carpenter technique. Yeah, dude.
He said, take your phone. Every once in a while, I go like this here. So nobody's home. Terry's gone. In fact, she's not even home at all that summer. She's working up by Canada. We only live 60 miles south of Canada, but she's up in the northwest angle of Minnesota, that little piece
that go
on an island.
Right. You actually go through Canada to get to it.
You get back into northwest angle. She's working for Sportsman's on Oak Island, a fishing resort for the whole summer. Anyways, so I did it that day. And we don't have no dogs or nothing at the time. So here's what I said, and I felt dumb. I said, hey, this is Randy. I'm just looking at your stuff. I'm harmless. I'm just trying to learn about you. But I said that, and once in a while I take my phone, snap a picture. I said that a lot that day, a lot. And now, they had not hit the house at that time yet. Never had that happen yet.
That just happened today. You were telling me in the
It happened again tonight. Yeah, about
wow. Okay.
10 minutes before we started.
Wow.
And so I did it that day a lot. And finally, I'm across the river where I don't go that often. It's a lot of X's and stuff over there too. It's more of a cedar swampy area. And I get home. I'm looking at my pictures I took. Oh my God, I got 3 Sasquatches here. I'm looking at them. And all of a sudden, a huge bang. First of all, I thought it was a knock on the door. I said, who? I got startled. I wonder who's knocking on our door. We don't get no company up here. So I get up to walk, got in the kitchen, and then female voice that goes, Randy. It says my name. Oh, there is somebody there.
Oh my God, dude.
I go out there. There's nobody there. And are you sure it wasn't kids? People have said, no, there ain't no kids coming here and pounding on the door and running off. I'd see them, but not that at all. And then, so I get outside and look around, and there's a oily white streaked handprint on the side of my house where they slapped it.
Right.
Now they've done a lot
pictures in the previous episode, guys. Pictures in the previous episode.
Yeah, I send you pictures of how they hit the house, and the
camera too.
They didn't go like that there.
And the camera too, where they actually knocked it off the tripod. There, you can see that white stuff.
Yeah. Yep. You can see the white stuff. You can see white fingerprints all over.
Yes, I remember.
And they ruined the batteries and the SD card. One thing I can tell you, Sasquatch is not some big animal hiding behind a tree. And then people say, are they intelligent? Well, they're way more advanced than what we can do or what we know how to do. I'll say that.
Okay.
There are people, seeing them close up, sometimes that close to my face. I'll tell you that one. One time I'm in the woods. I talk to them all the time now. I don't even feel dumb. And they listen to me. It's the craziest thing. I'll say it right now. No, I'm not a big drinker, and I don't do drugs. So it's not that. The only reason I'm saying that is people, when I've chimed in on some of those dumb things people say on Facebook, what kind of pot are you smoking? Can you sell me some of that? What kind of drugs are you doing? You must be drinking a lot of whiskey, some stupidest stuff like that. So that's why I'm saying that. Otherwise, I wouldn't say that. So
we actually have a question for Linda Siegman. She's Linda Siegman is one of the eyewitnesses during the Mothman events in 1966 and 67. So do you think they can read your mind? Do you believe they come inside?
Yes, they can read your mind. They know what you're thinking before you know it, and they've been inside my house.
Yes, they have. Go back and check that out. They've actually, that's the best way to say that, I guess, urinated on some of Randy's effects, I guess you could say. Once again, go back and check it out.
I guess I'll tell that one too. I guess I'll tell any stories that I've said that
people are
have
just
questions about.
You're great at what you do, but there's so many questions popping in. It's like it's incredible the amount of like people that are here. It's
okay. I know.
Everybody.
I was back doing my gifting thing.
All right.
Where I do the peanut butter and all that. Last year I went through 300 jars of peanut butter, 30 bags of apples. I don't count this year. So I said, hey, you guys. I always say you guys, whether male or female. I just say, hey, you guys. Okay, here's a patch of woods. And that's where my gifting area is. About 30, 40 yards away from that is an open area where I got a deer stand there. It's got green plywood around it. The green plywood is 9.5 feet up. I got a chair in there. And that would be to the north of that plot of woods. On the south side is another deer stand down one of the trails. Same thing, same kind of build thing. But anyways, I said, hey, you guys, I'm going to go sit in that deer stand. I'd like you to come to me. And I'm sitting and I crawl up in there. And it's in the daytime. It's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. In the fall, though. Mm-hmm. Leaves all over in the ground. And there's about 4 pine trees there. But I trimmed them all up way high so you can sit there and you don't look under the branches. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, my eyes go out of focus, and I get dizzy, and I go, what the heck? And I go down like this for just a little bit, 30 seconds, a minute. I don't know how long. I get up. Oh, my God, I'm still dizzy. I go down again, and I hear a footstep in the crunchy leaves right by me. I look up. There's a Sasquatch that close to my face. I look at it. It looks at me, takes another step. I turn my head like that, see the half back of it. And it disappeared in front of my eyes. It didn't walk off because I'm in the open. It's in the open. It wasn't in the woods. Poof, gone right in front of me because they can do that.
Yeah.
It didn't jump in no tree or run off or crawl like an animal. It didn't do that. I've seen it before a few times. It disappeared in front of my eyes. And then my dizziness and my eyes were good again after it was gone.
It's just it is so much to go through, and how long? I might ask you on the front. How long have you been dealing with this? Since you moved in, or did it happen afterwards? Or
I've been living here since 1979. There was never no house here. It was part of the 40 acres that Dad had a lot of land when he was alive. Mm-hmm. And when I got married in 79. That was another one. She's back in Kansas. Well, I have 6 kids, and Terry been together 15
years.
All
my exes live in Kansas?
Yeah.
George Strait song?
Oh, yeah. You got me now. I got to think again. I've been here since 79. Anyways, there was this all woods here. We cleared out a spot like 2.5 acres or so, and we put a house here. And I've been here since 79. But the land was bought before that. Mm-hmm. But my dad and his brothers had a lot of hunting land. Never here. I never really hunted here. Not even 79. I didn't start till a few years ago hunting here. I hunted this whole way, way, way bigger land plot. And so I don't know. Maybe it's always been here. I didn't have no idea. And my mind's never on Sasquatch, I didn't even watch those shows at the time. Where was I at?
We're all over the place. It don't matter, man. We're here with you, man. And you just, wherever it goes, buddy. It's
okay. What's that mean? Or in a van by the river?
That's a Chris Farley reference.
Oh,
from Saturday Night Live back in the 90s, which is really funny. In a van down by the river. And it's just funny. And I had to pull it up because it made me laugh.
Yeah.
Hey, James Hood is here. Welcome, James. Good to see you, man. Amazing show today. I agree, Pam. I agree. You guys, you have we're doing really well over here. Oh, my ex. Oh, your ex lived in a van down by the river.
Oh.
Yeah. I wanted to let's get into something you were talking about when you went to, what state did you say you went to?
Wyoming?
Wyoming, yes.
Oh, okay. Our band used to play in DuBois, Wyoming a lot in the Wind River Mountains. And this has nothing to do with Sasquatch, but I'll tell you why I'm saying that, then it'll lead up.
Okay.
And I like the mountains a lot. I don't mean tourist areas. I like to go out the beaten path, and maybe I can find an old cabin, trapper's cabin or whatever. I like doing that. Even here, I like doing that. And I always wanted to work for an elk hunting outfitter. So one year, me and Terry did that a few years ago now. And The base camp was 9,600 feet up. It was in a wilderness area. You couldn't even have electric toothbrush. You're not supposed to. Nothing electric at all. And it's a 7-hour horseback ride to the base camp. But we're the only couple he had ever hired. And most, like the camp cook, that's what Terry was. And I was the one who got the firewood and maintained all the outside stuff. And most of those guys would go back once a week and be home a couple of days in DuBois, Wyoming. DuBois is by Jackson Hole in that area.
Okay, the skiing area. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they'd go back but we stayed in the mountains for 40 days. We never came out. Lived in a little teeny tent, and that's what we did. A little wood stove in it. But anyways, before we went there, for a couple of years at my older gifting area, I had a circle of rocks and a kid's rubber bracelet about that wide, one of those little rubber bracelet things, and a little miniature flashlight about that long, and a red stuffed animal. And they don't like things with eyes, but I'll tell that later. And a red stuffed animal. And it hadn't been touched for good over a year. The little trinkets have not been touched at all. So we went on the road, that elk hunting thing there, and I came back. And I decided to go back there, see if that stuff was taken. And it wasn't taken. But about 60 yards to that, now we're all in the woods. 60 yards from it, I have a deer stand. And by that, there's a trail. To the left is where that gifting area was, about 15 yards into the woods. 60 yards is my deer stand. Okay. When a buck comes into rut, it'll take his antlers and scrape the ground, leave. It's called a scrape.
Yeah.
And they'll pee in it. But this guy have an overhanging branch, and they rub the orbital glands in it. Yep, that's what they do. And there was a couple scrapes, like a scrape line there, going right by my stand. And I thought, oh my God! And I don't do cameras because they asked me not to do cameras. I don't do any electronic, zero. But that's why I'm getting so much interaction. But anyways, I thought I'm going to put a camera here. I want to see what buck is tending the scrapes and stuff because I got to stand right there. And so I did put a camera up, but I said, hey, you guys, this is not for you. I want to see what kind of, yes, they can read your mind. I want to see what kind of big buck is coming here. Okay, I put that camera out there. I waited a couple of days because I didn't want to disturb it, get my smell in there,
Mm-hmm. And
I go back and I don't give opinions or theories because to me, that's just guessing. I only say what I know, but this has to be opinion, I guess. I think they got mad at me. And I had tracks too. It was a smaller track, like a juvenile, about that long, but that white, it was in the mud there. It wasn't, in the scrape back in the woods and barefooted, not that time in fall.
Okay.
It wasn't really muddy, but it was a lot of big impression there. And anyways, I go look my gifting area there to see if anything was touched. Yeah. They took the teddy bear and threw it about 20 yards out of the circle. The rubber bracelet was broken half. And the flashlight was broken half. A little flashlight like that, hard plastic, would be hard to break it.
Yeah. Yes, it would.
I mean, we'd have to bite it. It was broken half. And so I found a track. So I went back home, come back right away. I was going to cast it. I'm down on my hands and knees, starting casting. And I got the most awful scream at me, close to me. It was a bad, blood-curdling scream at me. And I know what cougars sound like and all that. And maybe it's not, or a fox, it's bobcat. It's not that. And then I got another one, and then I got another one. 3 of them at me. I'm assuming they got mad at me, because what else would it be? Why, for over a year, that stuff hasn't been touched. I put a camera there, and it's touched.
Okay, so we have a question from Michigan Sandman here. What is changing your vibration, and how do they do it? What do you mean by vibration? Could you be a little bit more?
Yeah, because I don't know.
I guess you mean like your vibe, I guess you would say. I don't know.
Okay, I can answer that. If that's how they want to put it.
I think that's what they're referring to.
Okay. After Doug Hajick and his recording guy, Adam, and me, and Tanner was there. That's Terry's son. He lives with us. He's 30-some years old. He's got a little syndrome, but if you met him, you couldn't tell it.
Okay.
He's fine. He goes hunting by himself and drives a snowmobile and all that. You just can't tell it.
Yeah.
Just his coordination, like wrapping a mic cord a little bit off. That's
okay.
All. He's mowing lawn. Instead of going straight, it goes straight, then kind of worsens.
It sounds like my kind of guy, honestly.
Yeah. And he's not drinking. I'm just joking. Yeah, I joke with him.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
Okay. Anyways, they were back there, and here's how that singing thing went. They're standing around there, and they're feeling an awful feeling. They got a weird, out-of-place feeling, which I'm not. And son Doug says, Randy, sing. And I say, sing? He says, yeah, you're singing a band, sing. So I started singing a country song. What do you say when it's over? That's what I did.
That's exactly what he told me. That's exactly what he told me. He said, he goes, I don't know. So Doug was like, I don't know why I told Randy. I knew he's a great singer. I said, just go and sing to them. And it was something like 4 or 5 times you did, or something like that. He was telling me.
Yes, I did exactly what I did. Okay, I started singing. I decided to stop. I got tired of singing. That's the only thing, like a verse. And they got overwhelmed with that rotten, dead meat, wet dog smell. Totally. All 3 of them did. I didn't. Yeah. I didn't. They don't give me that smell. So I sang again. It went away. I stopped singing. They got it. I started singing. It went away 4 times.
Yeah.
Sasquatch does not smell. They put that smell in a person's mind because why? What is people trying to do? They're trying to get evidence. They don't want that. So that's why they do that. If somebody's walking in the woods, all of a sudden get overwhelmed with that. Well, they don't want them there. Because what are they trying to do? Get evidence. I'm not. That's why I get so much interaction. Okay, so Doug calls me up when he gets home. He says, Randy, put a camera out there. And this is where I do my peanut butter. And that's why I brought him there. And put a camera out there and say this. Hey, you guys, can we get a picture of you? And we won't share it to nobody. It'll just be for me and for Doug. So I did that. I go back the next day. Oh, no, but then I said, if you never want cameras on this property ever again, you got to give me some kind of sign, do something I can see, do something.
Mm-hmm.
So I go back the next day. Guess what? Batteries are drained dry. When I get home, the SD cards are wiped clean. The camera's twisted. There's white fingerprints on it. But there's a 15 foot, that big around part of a tree, and like that, 15 foot tall, laying on my camera. In fact, it's still there today. I never did take it out of there. It's still there.
Right.
So I took that as a sign.
He was also saying
cameras.
He was also saying about the peanut butter jars that they're normally like completely clean, but he said there was one of them that wasn't. He said it smelled
because that's
really
probably
bad.
A bear that got that, or a raccoon.
He said it smelled really bad or something of that nature.
Yeah, he did say that. Oh,
yeah.
And guess what? I know what he's talking about. He asked me to save it, so I did.
Right, you put it in the freezer.
It's gone. It's gone.
Right, it disappeared. Right, that's what he was telling me.
Yeah, it's gone. I didn't get rid of it. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I quit doing cameras, and my interaction with them got stronger. But then, I guess 2 years now, when I decided I will never do electronics again, and recorders, I won't let nobody come here and do electronics. My place is not for evidence, it's for the experience. If you get the experience, you got the evidence. There you go. And so I said to them, you know what, you guys, I'm never going to try to get evidence off of you ever again, ever. That's when my interaction really got strong with them. That's why it's so much here, because they trust me. As crazy, I'll say again, as crazy as it sounds, it's true. It's working.
Could you also, could you say again or reiterate, you were telling me that you were, somewhere back on your property and you were doing something. I don't remember what it was that you were doing exactly. Can't remember everything, of course, but you were saying, I can go home down by the power line, or I can go through this part of the woods. Yeah. And you did that. And that's when they did something to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell me what they did.
Yeah. They did it 3 different times, or 2 really good ones. I had a third one this year again. So Sasquatch people have told me what they're not. They have told me what they're not. They didn't tell me what they are. They said what they're not. Okay. I'm doing my gifting thing again. And I want to talk about that too, what I actually do. But anyways, I'm doing my gifting thing. When I got done, I said, can you guys tell me what you are? What is going on here? What's going on here? That's what I said. So I can go out of the woods there, because we live by like Doug Hajick calls it, the power line corridor. I
Okay.
can go about 75 yards out of my house, and there's the power line thing. Runs along the highway. And so I decided I'm going to walk through the woods instead of walking on the power line, going on just something different. That's all. That's all
Right.
So I do that, and all of a sudden I get stopped in my tracks. My whole body was overwhelmed. Like, here's how I can explain it. If somebody's thinking about, I'm going to go get a bottle of pop or go fry a hamburger, that's a thought. A mind speak is not that. It, for me anyways, it gets my whole body. It stopped me dead in my tracks. And I said, oh my God, thanks. Thanks, I said what I said. Here's what they told me. We do not migrate south for the winter. We do not bury our dead on your earth. We do not live in caves. We do not live in a swamp. We do not need to be deep in the woods. We're interdimensional and metaphysical. We're in a metaphysical state. Yes, we leave tracks. Yes, we leave hair. We're flesh and blood. I've never not said they aren't. We're flesh and blood, but we don't live here on your earth. We come here because we like to.
Wow.
And you think about that, they've been searching for Sasquatch for hundreds of years, maybe thousands of years, I don't know, and never really gotten anything because they never will, because they're not a big animal hiding behind a tree. They're not that. They're way more than that.
So we have to kind of we have to change our mindset to understand what it is that we're dealing with.
Right. First thing, you got to stop trying. If enough people would stop trying to get evidence, they don't got to do exactly what I'm doing, but have that right mindset, that person will get their individual experience with them. So now that person's got his own evidence. Enough people have that, there's evidence for the world. But
yeah,
that'll never happen.
Point of view.
So here's opinion. I'm sure Sasquatch doesn't want everybody to do that because they don't want to be found right now. And they have told me that this year.
Wow.
Okay.
We have I'm sorry, one question. We have a question from Linda. She says, Randy, have you ever seen Dogman?
Okay. I'm going to tell you something quick like here. A long time ago, a guy named Chad Lewis was doing a book tour. He's from Wisconsin. He writes about ghosts and paranormal and Sasquatch and all that kind of stuff. Well, I said, I'm going to go to that thing. He come to our little town. My little town is Black Duck, Minnesota. I'm not scared to say where I live. And I wanted to go that. He rented a little room at the assisted living place, one of their back rooms. And he had posters up all over it into his talk. In fact, when he was on the Leech Lake Indian Reservation, he had to sign a piece of paper. He could not talk about Sasquatch or Dogmen. They made him sign that, the reservation. The chief did there. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, that's what he was telling us. But anyways, I went there. And as the crow flies, 2 miles west of our place is a guy named Ron Shaw. Now, he was there. But I was going to wait till everybody left. I'm not going to ask no questions or nothing. And I wanted to tell him that. Well, everybody left. Ron Shaw stayed there. And I thought, I'm not going to say nothing with him here. So he started talking about what he's got going on in this place with Sasquatch and Dogman. I said, Ron, I got the same thing at my place. I didn't know about him talking about that, and he didn't know about me. So it actually validated everything. But as far as Dogman, no. As far as I know, I've never seen one. But he talks about him all the time, and his 80-year-old mother swears by it too.
Ron Shaw? Does he do interviews?
Well, his best friend used to be J.C. Johnson. I don't know the guy, but he passed away, I guess, a while ago. And that kind of did him in for being in the public about Sasquatch. So I'm not sure, but I'll ask him.
That would be fantastic. I would love.
Yeah. Oh man, he can tell you a lot too.
Okay. We have another question. Okay. So when you were talking, when they gave you the information on what they're not, so I guess they're saying how and why are they able to come here, and where else do they go? I don't know if you got that information.
Right. That's why a lot of times I'll say I don't know, because what I'm saying tonight is what I know from them. So I don't know. I don't know how they do it, where they go. I don't know. They just said they're interdimensional, whatever that's supposed to mean. I don't know.
Right.
So anything you don't know. That people are listening to me is what I know. And I want to put this in there. One guy told me, he said, Randy, I believe you believe what you're saying. No, it's not what I believe that I'm saying. It's what I know. Because if they didn't tell me that, I wouldn't be saying it. So Why did this
I
come
don't
up
know,
on my
Clover,
live
how this
feed?
came up on your live feed, but we're very glad that you're here. Hopefully you enjoy the content and, come on back, and interact with us. I can see you're over there on the vertical feed. Come over on the horizontal and you can chat with everybody over here and we have a great time. You don't ever want to see Dogman Evil. So Alice, you've had a run-in with the Dogman. That's interesting. Go ahead and contact me. I'd love to talk to you about it at the iJupiterPodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to come in and talk about it or stay incognito and just tell me, I'm here for it. I appreciate it. That's I do appreciate that you just tell me what it is that you know, and word for word what you told me in the past is exactly what you're telling me now, and that's important. And even please.
Mm-hmm. Okay, they told me what the X's mean.
Okay.
And they put X's by the steps of my house, and I sent them to you. They're like I don't know what you want to call it. I call it straw grass. It's like straw, but it's not. I mean, it's wild. And sometimes that long, sometimes that long. They'll put 3 X's by my steps of my house, or 4 X's, or
I remember this
2,
picture.
Or they take them away, or they'll start out. It looks like some kind of glyph kind of thing. It's weird, and then it'll change to an X. So here's what they told me. They said the X's are boundary markers, not for humans. They have nothing to do with us at all. We can go around them. It doesn't mean stay out for us. It has nothing to do with us. It's for other, we want to say, cryptids or weird things that we don't know about. That's what it's for. And the reason they put X's by my steps in my house is to keep them weird things away from us.
To keep the weird things, so it's like a protection kind of thing.
That's what it's like. Yep.
That's interesting because you always hear people talking about finding the X's in the woods, or like we're in like a what would you call a sapling area, and we're finding things in 3 to 4 inches in diameter leaning up against. Who would put that there? Why would that be there? And
I must have hundreds of them. Doug Hajick said I got more X's than he's ever seen in anybody in the country. That's what he says, But there's a lot here. If I took anybody out the woods, they'd walk back shaking their head amazed. Not meaning they're going to see a Sasquatch, but they'd be amazed. The she squatchers, they're pretty well known.
Oh yeah, I've had them on.
They've seen their first live Sasquatches at my place. They've seen them before on a thermal at nighttime here and there, but they've never seen them in the flesh and blood state. But they have at my place.
I can't remember her name, but she said that she was on a reserve there somewhere in Minnesota.
Yeah, that's Jen. She's part of the Red Lake Band Chippewa Indians. The Red Lake.
Yes, Band. She's also part. Yes, Native American.
That's a sovereign nation. That's close. Right. I couldn't go up there and walk in the woods there. I'd have to have somebody from the reservation come there take me.
Yes, she was saying that. Oh my God, I can't think of his name. He is from. Oh my God,
Jason Kenzie.
Yes. Yep. That he was there setting up camp one night, and one ran up to him and yelled something to him, and he was able to remember it, or she heard it, or something like that. And it was
something like I can't really remember, because when I have people come here, okay, here's what I do. When I have people come here that I'll let come here, pretty much I only let knowers come here. I don't let somebody come here that I don't believe I'm going to come to your place. I want to see. Well, then they don't need to come here because it's not about evidence.
It's not the right vibe. No, it's not the right.
Exactly right. And when I know I'm going to let somebody come here, usually they're friends of mine that I know good now. I'll let some new people come here, depending on who they are. But I'll say this here, and it works every time. I'll say, hey, you guys, I got some friends coming here, and I want you to scare the hell out of them. I mean, get them good. I said, don't hurt them. They're friends of mine, but mess with them. It happens every time, not just a coincidence. And I'll put people, like, usually I like to split them up in different spots just on the 40 acres here. We never camp out on the state land. I've never done that yet. I'm just on the 40 acres here. And I never stay with people at nighttime here. It's not that I'm scared, because nothing happens of the weird stuff to them when I'm with them. It's when I leave. Okay. So I might hang back in the woods here. There used to be a deer food plot, and it wasn't really taken care of and plowed up and all that. So it's kind of like weeds now. I got a little fire ring. I got some couches, one couch, some old couch, some chairs.
Okay.
And I'll sit there with them, and I'll usually go by midnight. But do I feel weird walking back by myself with the flash? Yeah, I still feel weird in my stomach, but I do it. And
thank you, Tim. Tim's saying I've had plenty of experiences with him, and what he is saying is the truth. Yes, very, very. Thank you, because we need. There's nothing wrong with collaborating. Like some people, they love to get defensive about being either one thing or another, or are they demons? Are they this? Are they that? The thing is that no matter what you may believe in your personal experiences with it, could be different because of who you are, and your group could be a little bit different or not all the same. I'd imagine
That's true. That's a good statement. Yeah. Okay.
We just have to be open with the conversation. That's what's
exactly
important.
right. Yeah. Yep. You have to be open. I didn't give birth to Sasquatch, so I'm open too. You know, I just say what I know, what they've told me, and the only reason it would be wrong if they're lying to me. That's the only way.
Right. And how would
they are? I don't know.
Yeah. How do you discern that yourself? All you got to do is be. I think a lot of it has to do with you being. It's going to. This is. I'm a little bit more Eastern Mississippi, like pure of heart. You know, you have to know that you're doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. I mean, even it's a. You know, that's even a Christian thing. You know, doing the right thing for right thing's sake. And if you're doing that, even if they are lying to you and they're not harming you, and you're just, I guess, fascinated by what's happening, I don't really see the problem with that.
No. What was I saying? I got my mind's trend. As you can see, I got a lot of energy, so my mind's trend. What was I saying? What the heck?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's really the problem is it's really hard sometimes. You know, you're on a roll, which is fine. That's what you're here for. And then people have these great questions, and I got to make sure I grab them. So I'm still trying to learn the balance.
That's fine. Yeah,
I'm learning the balance.
I'm an open book about Sasquatch, and like I say, if I don't know, then I don't know.
You were talking about
give a theory or
friends.
opinion because I'd be just guessing. So I'm only going to.
I remember, Randy, you were talking about them messing with your friends when your friends or the people who come mess with them.
It happens every time. And I always stay at the little fire ring till about maybe midnight. Then I'll walk back. I make everybody use red beam flashlights, not white lights. And the reason I do that because leaving at 4:30 in the morning with my red beam flashlight, I'm almost walked up on deer standing on the edge of the woods. I see them. They're not really scared, but they run off with a white beam flashlight. That's why I do that.
Okay.
And and it happens every time. A couple months ago, Mike Quasts, he's the one that wrote the book about my place called Sasquatch Central, A Highest Strangeness at Northern Minnesota Homestead, published by Doug Hajick. And I'm not trying to sell the book because I ain't getting a penny out of the thing. When they wrote the book, it was about me. I needed to talk to people about what's going on here. There's so much going on here. And I see those shows and it's so wrong. I thought I got to start saying what I know here. And that's how the book came about. But anyways, Mike seen one when he's like 50 some years old. He's seen one when he was 14 across the road. He hadn't seen one since. And he's wrote quite a few books just about Minnesota. And so I put him in a spot where that Sasquatch came to me and was that close to my face. And we look at each other. And there's in that opening there, that seems like a lot of activity there. So he, that's it right there.
I'm just popping it. This is my. Pam is the. But you'll get to know Pam if you know anything about these live shows.
Yeah.
I got very lucky. Very lucky. She's on it.
Yeah. Anyways, about midnight, Mike there, he's crawls in his tent there, and he's got one. He uses the air mattress, but he always has these ones that seem to leak. So he gets to the air mattress and it's flattened. So he pumps it up with his bicycle pump thing. He crawls in there, but it's a really bright moonlight. So he crawls in there, but his flaps are open, but you see through the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And he's laying there almost falling asleep. He hears some big footsteps walk up to him. He opens his eyes up and there's a Sasquatch looking in the tent at him. He sees it really good. It's got his hands on the screen like this here. He watches it for a while. He's kind of shaken up somewhat. He said, do you want anything? Or he said, can I help you with something? Or said something like that.
Uh-huh.
And it doesn't move or nothing like that. So he decides to put his hands up there like that there too. And it moves his hands off. He puts his hand back and it comes up again like that.
That's weird.
So he listened to what I said. I said, you know what? When people come here and then something happens to them, what's the point of doing all this here if they don't get out and look? So he thought he'd do that, get out and look. And then it was gone, So that scared him. I was sitting back at the fire ring. I still hadn't left yet. And I see a flashlight coming. Oh, it's Mike. He gets down, sits down by me, and his hand is shaking like this here. I said, what's wrong, Mike? He said, Randy, did you hoax me? I said, Mike, no. If I hoaxed somebody and got caught, all my credibility would be right out the window. And I'm not going to walk through the woods with a little flashlight and try to hoax you. No, right. I didn't. And then a month later, he's at my place, and he's staying by the river. Well, there's two rivers there. There was a creek called Spring Creek and the Cormorant River. They run together in a Y. And he decided to walk around, comes back at 2 a.m, just walking around the 40 acres. There's trails around the 40 acres that been here for a long time. And he gets back in the tent and he hears some water splash. And he's only like 15 yards from the little creek.
Okay.
He gets out and there's a Sasquatch standing there, huge one, slapping the water like this here. He watches it, turns and looks at him. It walks off a little bit, kept slapping the water, then it's just gone. So he's seen 2 in a month. But when he's seen it, the next night, he decided not to stay in his tent. He left his tent out in the woods there, come back out Wednesday morning. He went and stayed in a motel. Well, Chris from Washington, state of Washington, he's got Bound to Truth podcast. And I've been on it a few times. He wanted to come here, so I let him come here. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to make the story quick. A few years ago, they hit the camper. I'll tell you about that quick. Like Terry went out with the golden retriever. We got 2 golden retrievers and a mini golden doodle. And okay. They weren't trained really good, so we got to take them on the leash all the time to go to the bathroom. And if they see a rabbit, they run off. They don't come back. They don't want to run out the highway, so it's kind of a pain, but that's what we do. And I'm gone so much, I don't have time to. I'm sure they could be trained better, but anyway, she's out. I got this camper, and Samantha, Terry's daughter, and 2 grandkids wanted to sleep in the camper, and so I move it. They didn't want it up by the woods line, the door, the south side, because Samantha and the kids have seen Sasquatch here, and they're kind of scared.
Right.
So I got it down by our garage where I keep my sound equipment. Terry's out with the dog, and I say, I got the camper right. She says, no, you don't. And we're not really arguing, but I'm more boisterous than her. I said, yes, I do. She wants the door this way. I go across my daughter. They're really big in horses and the rodeo thing. So mow with the big tractor in their brush mower to mow part of their pasture. I come back about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, and Annie got so scared. She's a 5-year-old golden retriever then. She got so scared that she pulled Terry in the house. In fact, Terry's pulling her so hard that Terry almost tripped trying to hold her back to get in the house. She was scared. They heard a loud bang, really loud. So they're telling me about it. So I get out, walk around the garage. I never told you this. There's 7 white finger streaks on the backside of the garage, like the corrugated steel. It's a new garage. Like they went blah, 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 like across the whole back of the garage.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking. I don't see nothing. I happen to go by the camper. It's just an older camper. I bought it for when I'm doing an outdoor festival concert. I got to stay by the stage, not go to some motel room. I need to be by the stage overnight, especially if something happens or rains or whatever. And that camper been in a shop for a long, long time. It didn't have no dents in it. Well, this is what they did. They hit the side of the camper door. It's about a dent like that, which I sent you the picture.
Yes.
They must have slapped it hard. And that's the sound that Terry and the dog heard, and the dog got scared.
Right.
So a few days later, when you have a camper and you got on the back of a pickup, what do? You crank it off the ball hitch.
Right.
You put it on a nice heavy, like a cement block it's on.
Right.
And you crank it down so it's level.
Right.
Okay. So the girls are sleeping in there. And about 2 a.m, we get a frantic phone call from Samantha. They're scared. They say there's something hitting the camper, the back of the camper, and shaking it back and forth like this here. So I go out there. I knew I wasn't going to see nothing. I knew what it was. I don't see nothing. I said, you guys will come in the house. They said, well, we're calmed down now. We'll stay out here. So the next morning, guess what? I got knuckle marks all over the back of the camper, like they were going like this here, like that long, all over the back of the camper. And they shook it so hard back and forth, they took it off the cement block. Now, I power lifting competition. I can't lift that camper off a cement block.
So it's like leaning down now on the ground.
Yeah, it's leaning down. So the jack is into the gravel.
Okay.
It's not on the cement block. And like I said, I power lived in competition. I can't pick that front end of that camper up. It's too heavy.
Yeah, I have one
I'm
too.
a 500-pound deadlifter.
That's right. You're a power
165,
lifter.
so I'm free. I can't even budget.
I forgot about that. You're a power lifter. That's true.
Yeah. In fact, I'm training for a meet now, and I'll be 67 in April, and I'm going to go to one probably. I want to be 67 so I can be in that class.
We've had a couple remarks on the side, and I don't want to offend you or anything, but have you ever noticed you have an uncanny resemblance to Giuliani, to the whatever his name is? Was it Rudy?
I don't even know who that is.
You don't know who Rudy Giuliani is? You look a lot like Rudy Giuliani.
Is he the governor or mayor of?
Yeah, he was like the mayor of New York for a while, and he.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at him. I don't get offended.
No, I just don't want, because some people like, they go, oh, and then it's some type of, people get so offended with political affiliations now that they lose their mind.
What? Minneapolis is really bad right now. I don't get into politics.
Yeah, that very smart. Very smart to do so.
I got some cousins that, oh my God, it's so radical. It's about, it's so dumb. Sometimes I purposely say things to get them mad. I almost laugh at them. It's awful.
You're like me, dude. I don't take it. I laugh. Whatever. If you guys are gonna, if you're going to change everything about your life because you're worried about some rich people making decisions for you that it makes you angry, then you've lost the battle.
Oh yeah, because I asked my one cousin, said, Cheryl, don't you get up in the morning and eat your breakfast? Is it all good? Is your house really nice and all that? I said, what's the point? What is the what are you doing?
You can't take none of this with you. You can't take none of this with you.
I know, it's dumb.
Go play with your kids. Go play a video game. Leave us alone. We're good out here.
Okay. Yeah. I want to tell you about the peanut butter and what I do out there. Then I can tell you about the deer skulls.
Yeah. Could you were telling me something in the green room before we started about them following you along the river.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So about a couple weeks later, I went back to the same spot where they came to the house, hit the side of the house the very first time and said my name and all that. So I'm back there again, and it's in the summertime now, and I'm kind of like 50 yards from the river when I get closer to the river to come back home. So I'm walking way back there, and one time I found 4 X's, but they're all touching each other. 4 X's like this here, but they're not big like this here. They're about like that big around X's like that.
Okay.
Of the sticks, They're dead sticks that have been laying on wherever they were laying. They were brought there, but there's no root base there. They're not from right there. They didn't. And another thing, I've never seen sticks that are dead laying on the ground fly up and land in an X. And I'll tell you I've seen a mixed structure in front of my eyes. But anyways.
Okay.
Yep. So anyways, I decided to start going back home. I'm in that woods line, and there's red willows, and there's the river. And I can see the river, but not really great, but I can see the river. And it's kind of swampy, that it was wet, that it must have been more in the late spring. So I'm walking, just looking at the river, kind of, walking. I hear a big loud splash, huge. And I think, oh my God, a deer. I wonder, trying to see the deer. I don't see nothing. So I start walking, and it starts walking in the river. I stop, it stops. I walk, it walks. I stop, it stops. It followed me for over 100 yards.
That's a very common
thing. Allowed me. I never seen nothing. They can do that. They don't have to be seen. This is going to sound crazy again. They can be invisible and you don't see them, and they can be there. They can be right by you and you don't know it.
People will say that all the time. They won't see a damn thing, and the sounds will be 20 feet off to the right of them, and they will walk them out of the woods basically like, yeah, you can I'll go with you.
And it's very true. It's true.
Yeah. So so tell me about the X. You've seen them building the X.
Okay. I guess it was last year. I said, hey, you guys, how do you do these structures? I've never seen one built before. I've never seen one, and I've never seen sticks fly through the air and land in X's and teepees. I got teepees back there. The really weird ones are A's, perfect A's. It's like something out of a scary movie. The A's are, I don't know what they mean, Mm-hmm. I know what the X's mean. I don't know what the teepees mean. Some of my teepees are perfect, but they're smaller. They're not but they put a young one in there for babysitting. I don't know what they are.
Okay.
So I said, how do you do these structures? And I get done doing my peanut butter and all that. And I say that, and I always guess the yardage. I should actually measure if I can say what I'm, maybe 25, 30 yards away going towards the north. That's my other spot where I have the dice and all that stuff.
Oh, right.
Okay. Okay. All of a sudden I hear a big crack. I look up, and it's about that big around. It's a green tree with the root base. It gets pushed over. There is no wind, no storm. It's a nice day out, and it's not rotten. I stop and look at it. I'm startled, and oh, geez. And then I see about that big around, about 15 feet long, a stick come off the ground, go up to that, lift up to that, and land in it, put it to the X. And I see another one from this side going this way, so it's X, Y. Then I see another one come down like this here. I watch it being made.
But you don't see anything.
Nobody.
You don't see nothing moving it. Nothing moving it. You don't see anything moving it.
I didn't see no body, but I watched it being made in front of me.
That's new to me. Now, a lot of things we've been rehashing to get people to the things that you want to talk about. That's incredible.
Okay.
That's incredible to witness that.
Yeah, it is. So I'm going to tell you here's what I do for my peanut butter.
Okay.
I go back in the woods. I got 4 nails in a tree, not high up, only like 5 feet up or 4.5 feet up, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm only 5'5", 5'6", so it's lower than tall as I am. Okay. And then right closer, this is the next area here. I have some pre-cut red weed eater lines, about that long. For a weed eater, you don't got to buy the spool. You get the attachment, and you can just stick them in like this, 4 of them. And okay. I have them there. And another spot, I got some little kids' wooden blocks like that. And about 25 yards away, I got 8 dice, 2 popsicle sticks, a couple peanut butter caps in that spot. So here's what I do. I'll go and look at I'll start the first time I'm doing it. I'll put the red weed eater lines in some kind of design. Random design means nothing. I do that to the wooden blocks. I do that to the dice and all that stuff. I take a picture of each one of them. I'll go back the next day, and they're moved in a total different design. There's never no food at those places ever. I've never done food at those places, and it ain't some squirrel randomly bumping it or a mouse bumping it. It's a total different design, and it happens every day. If it just happened 1 or 2 times, yeah, maybe it could be an animal doing that, but it's not that. And then I'll take a picture of that, and I'll say, man, you guys got me good on that one, and I'll take a video of it. And I'll move it again in a different design, whatever I can think of. Sometimes I just take the pile and go like that and drop them.
So you're saying like
out.
When you're seeing this, you're saying it's not random. There's some type of intention behind what you're seeing.
Yeah, there's intention. But here's what I know. People have said, man, Randy, they're making a glyph. They're trying to give you a letter, trying to give you a message. No, they're not. I'm having fun with them. They're having fun with me. It's the young ones. We're just messing around. They're messing around with me, and that's all it is. So as far as the peanut butter, I'll go back there. I take the lid off. I take the paper off. I put the lid back down. I put the peanut butter, sometimes 2 jars like this here, so it bounces, and I bring 4 or 5 apples. Around the bushes there, I stick them there. Every day, the cap is taken off, and the cap is laying down by the tree in color order. The reds are together, the blues, the greens, whatever color they are, all the colors are together in order. And they made a triangle with sticks, so they're all set in that triangle. I had never did that.
Right, and they're also color-coded too, right?
Yeah, they're color-coded. And they take the apples. Apples are always gone. And so last year I went through 300 jars. Now, bears do get the peanut butter, and so do squirrels. When a bear gets it, the cap is bit right in half. It's laying down there in pieces. The jar is totally ripped in half, big teeth marks in it, and there's still residue in the peanut butter jar. When a squirrel gets it or a raccoon, the squirrel chews around the cap, all around it. You can see bite marks, and they try to get into it that way. A raccoon chews a hole in the bottom of it, and there's always residue in it. When a Sasquatch gets it, the jar is gone. But sometimes they bring the jar back, which I send you pictures, and they put it upside down in a branch of a tree in the same area. There's 10 of them there like that. They look like they went through a dishwasher. They are perfect. Perfectly clean.
I just want to give the people, because people keep asking about, I want to see these pictures.
Yep.
Go back. The episode is episode number 103. It's called Sasquatch Talk to Me. I wrote telepathically because that's what the algorithm asked for, and told me what they are not. episode 103. I did get one sub. You guys are new here. Do me a favor, go over and sub to the channel. We're trying to give, it's been kind of weird for me lately. I get like 3 subs, I lose 2, 3, 2. I'm kind of, I think we're catching on to the truth, to be honest with you. And whatever, this format we're on, they're not really happy with people like yourself and I and others who come on and talk about things in the way, as long as if it's not divisive, they don't want it on YouTube. So we're trying to connect people here.
Yeah.
my opinion. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so they clean them out, and guys can go over there 103, and you can actually see how clean these are. Amber was asking about the caps. They take all the caps; they're in a triangle formation, and they are color coded. It's very, very strange.
Yep. And then here's another thing I found out a few years ago. They don't like things with eyes, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. I put a stuffed animal by my little wooden blocks. Like a little blue or red. It was a little red stuffed animal like that there. A little stuffed bear thing. And for over a week, none of my stuff was touched. The food wasn't touched. Nothing was touched. Not even deer getting apples. Nothing. And I thought, what the heck? What is different here? Well, I put that stuffed animal here. I still didn't know about the eye thing. So I took that out. The next day, all my stuff was moved and food was gone and peanut butter was gone. Then a while later, I brought somebody said, Doug Hajick said, Randy, get a eraser board and write your name on there and ask them to draw on there. So I did that, put it to a tree, but I drew a stick man. I ain't no artist, but a little stick man eyes. I put an arrow to it. Said, this is me, Randy. Can you draw on this? The same thing with eyes and all. The same thing. All my stuff activity stopped. It all stopped. Nothing was taken. No food was taken. And I thought, well, what's different? Well, that eraser board with my stick man on there. I erased it out of there. It all started again.
That is so weird.
Like things with eyes. I don't know why they don't, but that's what I've come up with. Then I never told you this. I had another little plastic robot, like bear looking thing, about that tall. I put it on the power transformer where I got marbles, and that's where I get all the hair on the high line pole. And all my activity stopped again. I got rid of that. It all started again. So that's 3 incidences. And remember, back when I told you about that little flashlight and rubber bracelet, I had that stuffed animal there.
Yeah.
It wasn't touched for over a year. It was not touched. And then sometimes they'll take structures like that that was so great, it's gone. But the sticks it didn't get blown down because the sticks aren't even there. It's gone. And there was a really nice one right back by my gifting area now. And it was like this here. It was like a triangle kind of thing. There was a notch here and it was laying like that between two trees. And this year I said, oh, that thing is gone. That was such a good one. The sticks are gone too. So they take it right out of there for what reason, I don't know. And here's another thing I noticed. Even with the Sasquatch girls, when somebody brings me something, they want to bring me a gift to put out there, it never gets touched. Ever. Never gets touched. I've had some people there. They left some trinkets there. They've been there a good 8 years now. Never got touched. Ever. Only what I bring out there.
That's interesting. Probably because they know you're the caretaker of the land, and they maybe approve the way. I mean, it's all conjecture, of course, but yeah.
Now, wife Terry, Terry's daughter Samantha, the girls, since they've seen Sasquatch now, they will not go back in the woods with me. Except my wife's never seen my gifting area. Wow. It's just on the 40 acres here. I'm going to tell you, a long time ago, I guess 13 years ago, Jim, the head of SRA, said, Randy, you don't want to gift them food. If you do that, it'll be bad. Well, I wanted to learn about them, so I do my own thing. I didn't listen to them. And here's what I did. At the time, you could drive the 4-wheeler back across the river here and back across my uncle's 80 acres to the state land. But then he sold it to this farmer guy, which he don't go back. It's still all woods and all that, but he put a darn fence and he has his cows in there once a month in the summertime. So I can't drive my 4-wheeler back there now that way. But anyways, then I could. So I got 6 apples, cut them in half. I brought aluminum ladder, like a double section ladder, and I brought it with me because I knew it was light enough I could kind of carry it and ride the 4-wheeler like this. And I brought the ladder because I wanted to put it high in popple trees that we have here in northern Minnesota. The bark is kind of soft. So
the white ones, right? Poplars, the white ones, right?
They're kind of white, yep. I knew if a bear, raccoon, porcupine, whatever would crawl up there, I'd see scratches in the tree. I'd see some kind of markings. And I stood on the ladder and reached out as far as I could, high enough where a bear couldn't get at them unless they climbed up the tree, and out far enough, and a deer couldn't stand in it and get it at all. So I did that. That's 12 pieces in the surrounding area there. And I went back there every day. They were gone every day. Now, this is when I first seen a Sasquatch. And about a week of doing that, I said, I'm going to set in this deer stand about 60 yards away. There's an old deer stand that somebody made a long, long time ago. In fact, it's even kind of rickety. I wouldn't even crawl up it now. Mm-hmm. And, so I sat in there, and I could see where the apples were. I'm in the woods, and that's in the woods, but it's really not a bunch of brush in that certain area there. And I'm sitting there. All of a sudden, I see my first Sasquatch. It crossed from the west side of the little trail. The trail is just wide enough for a four-wheeler. The west side going east to those apples. I looked there, and I seen a Sasquatch right there. Boop, cross over. And that really startled me because they didn't know nothing about them. That was my first one. And I said, here's what I said. Oh, my God, them things are real. I had never seen one yet. Never had hit the house yet. None of that stuff yet.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I said, oh, my God, them things are real. So it did scare me.
Yes, of course it did, dude.
Here's what I said. Oh, my God, those things are real. I don't want to stay here, but I don't want to get down either because that thing's here.
Right.
But I'm glad I had my four-wheeler.
Who was telling me that? Oh, what is his name? Daryl Denton was telling me that the first time he seen one on his grandfather's property, he was up in a tree overlooking a creek. So he was like 15, 20 feet up. This thing went over to his rag that he had hanging from a tree with urine on it, grabbed the rag, smelled it, looked over at him and screamed, oh, and it echoed up the holler, and it turned around and walked in the woods, and he froze. He didn't know what to do. He said when he finally, a half hour later, when he jumped down out of the tree, he hauled butt out of there, ripped his pants up because he had to jump over a barbed wire fence. It is the first time running across one of these things, because there's people here saying, I would love to see one. Be careful what you wish for. I know, Amber, I know you're looking to see one. I know that JD, you're looking to see one, the Michigan Sandman. Yes, he has he does have a Facebook page. I don't know if he's willing to share that. Be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it. You know what I mean?
Every time I've seen them is when I'm not thinking about them. I'm back in the woods and I'm thinking about whatever I'm thinking about. Every time I see them is when I'm not thinking about them. That's when I see them. My mind's not on them.
There you go. Michigan.
The ones that are trying to get evidence off them will have a lot harder time.
Mm-hmm. I think. So before we conclude this episode, Randy, first of all, thank you so much for coming back on. Really appreciate it, man. I swear, it's just fantastic talking to you. You're great at what you do. You have, the way you talk about them. I think it's very beneficial. I think it's very beneficial to this whole thing that people are talking about now. What would you say to somebody who wants to see one? What would you say to them?
Well, first you got to get them to trust you. You got to be in a spot where they've been sighted, for one thing, and you got to go out there with an open mind, a good heart, and don't try to get evidence. Don't bring cameras, and because then you're trying to get evidence. You're trying to get and you're not. It's not going to happen.
I would say no weapons either. They know all that.
But I do bring a pistol with me. I never go without my pistol ever.
We've
got too many wolves here, cougars here, and I tell this. Here's what I said to the Sasquatch people. I said, you know what? I'm bringing this pistol, and it's not for you guys. I can't protect myself from a pack of wolves or a cougar. They want to get ornery with me. That's what it's for. And it's not that I'm going to shoot one, or if I get between a mother bear and her cubs, I don't want to shoot them, but I got to have something. It's better to have it and not need it than to not have it and need it.
That would be interesting if you ever were to ask them if they were to protect you. I don't know if that would be something that you would depend on. Of course.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that either.
I better say this here. They gave me another mind speak. I'm sitting in my deer stand. I got to my deer stand about 4:45 in the morning back in the state land here. And I'm actually a little bit too early. And I'm thinking I'm going to be cold before I even get the light out. And I'm sitting there and I don't move. Sometimes I just shut my eyes and listen. There was a deer that walked by me. I can't see it. I don't move to try to see it because I don't want to scare nothing away. And then about 10 minutes later, another one to the right of me. And I'm sitting there, and about 4:45, I get another mind speak. It overwhelmed my whole body again. And I don't use the language they use, but I'm going to say exactly how they said it. Like I don't use the word humanity when I'm talking to somebody. Here's what they said. We don't want humans to try to prove us to the world. We don't want it. Humanity is not ready for us. When humanity is ready for us, we'll prove our own self to the world. There's too many people trying to get evidence off us, want to shoot us, want to be the next millionaire, the next famous person. We don't want it, and we don't need it. Exactly what they told me. And I wasn't even thinking about Sasquatch. I'm thinking about deer hunting.
Yeah, there it is, buddy. There it is. That's a great way to end it, man.
Now, we had more time. I would tell you about the peeing in the house and all that, but
we'll do that. I'll tell you what. I'll have you on in a couple months, and we'll do it again. People are already asking for you to come back on. We'll go through that so people can go through and listen to that, because that's an incredible experience as well.
Two more things. I'm going to say quick,
sure, fire away.
I was at the Cryptid of the Corn conference last year. I was one of the speakers there, and that's from Ohio. And then another thing, George Workman, he was from Pennsylvania. I do got a Bigfoot page on Facebook, because he said, Randy, you got so much going on here. You need to have a private page to keep your pictures in order of how I do my gifting and all that kind of stuff. But I'll share it. It's called Randy's Bigfoot Research.
Randy's Bigfoot Research. Okay.
And to get on it, though, you got to friend me first. And it's my wife's name, Terry, Teri, Terry Randy Bauer.
That's right.
And then I'll accept you. Yeah, I pretty much accept everybody.
Yeah, I didn't want to put it out there. I
you can't.
I really respect autonomy. I respect autonomy, man. I ran across you. I don't even remember how I found you talking to you.
I don't either. No, I'm not famous. Not enough.
No, it's just.
I'm not even trying to be famous.
No. I'm not trying to be. I don't want to be famous either. I just want to. I enjoy the conversation. I enjoy the conversation.
What gets me not upset, what irritates the hell out of me is these famous people. I won't say no names. Documentary movies, TV stars. Let me put it that way. I had to try to get some bookings for a conference in Wisconsin, and they wanted some of those famous people there. Well, those famous people are getting between $3,000 and $5,000 to do their little 90-minute talk. It'd be like me talking about your house. I can't talk about your house. I've never seen it. They've never seen those Bigfoot before. They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, it's become one of those red carpet things.
Yeah,
I don't like
Maybe
that at
I
all.
shouldn't say that, but I'm right. I'm honest and to the point.
Yeah,
no BS with me. Yeah,
and I got to be honest with you, man. I appreciate that so much more than other things.
Me too. I like when people are that way. You know where you stand then.
Yeah, dude. You'd be the kind of guy that you and I can go out and I know you don't drink, but go out bowling or whatever the hell.
Oh no, I do. But you know what? When I lost my gallbladder, it all changed for me. I can have one beer and make like I have a hangover the next day. So it's not.
Oh, my dad had the same issue. My dad had and my buddy Chris had the same issue. We had to get.
So if I'm gonna drink, I might as well do it upright. Either way, I'll be sick.
It's always a pleasure, man, and I will definitely contact you. We'll set up something in the future, man, and I really appreciate that. Okay, man.
Yep. Thanks.
Okay, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me so much. Randy, love you, buddy. Thank you so much for coming back on the show. We are the eye. We are aware. Love you all, and have a wonderful weekend.
Goodbye.